wonderfully about it. Let me get the young lady on the end.
What kind of things you do as a parent?
What kinds of things do I do? And I do a lot of talking. I have to tell people what to do. I have to persuade people to do certain things. I have to convince people to do certain things. I have to communicate with the public a lot about some of the things that are going on in the city. I have to convince businesses and other people to try to come to the city. I have to help people with problems. People come and they really think the government should solve a lot of their issues. Some of them we can. Some of them, quite frankly, is not our responsibility to do, but we try to help people anyway. But yeah, so and of course, I spend a lot of time writing. So that's why in school, all of your English and history and writing becomes very important, because one of the key skills in life you're going to have to deploy no matter what you do. You could be a musician, but you're going to have to be able to communicate well. You play music well, but if you want to get a good contract and you want to get out and attract fans, you're going to have the ability to communicate with people in a big way. Let me get the young man in the back.
What are your plans for the future?
My individual plans or plans for the town?
Plans for the town.
Okay, so one of the things we're trying to do is grow what I call business ratables to the city. That means bringing more businesses and better stores to the business. Because they help, when we bring businesses to the city, it helps our parents, and myself included, keeps our taxes somewhat stable. So, like for instance, how many of you guys know where the Valley Fair is? You guys know where the Valley, you know where the Valley Fair is too, I bet, right? Well, we're building, there's a mall being built there as we speak. And the mall will be at least not fully rented, but almost totally completed by August of this year. And we're trying to attract stores to that mall so that people have not only nicer places to shop, but also have jobs in the community as well. So some of the new businesses we bought, I know all you guys like pancakes. How many of you been to the IHOP since? Yeah, all of you, almost, right? You haven't been? You don't eat pancakes? I'm just kidding. So, and then right across the street, we just had a beauty supply place at a vacant car lot that was on the corner of Springfield and Lyons for a number of years. So we've had some success at attracting businesses to the community. My goal is to do that more. And then we've had a major problem all across America. When the economy went down, a lot of our people got in trouble with their homes. So you got a lot of people in town that are swimming through the treacherous waters of foreclosure. And so we're trying to make sure that we can build up our areas where we have some blight and abandoned property to attract investors back to the city. We were doing pretty well at tackling that up until about 2007 when the world changed, the economics of the world changed. Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to do in the future?
Which that's the same question he asked.
I mean, like, what would you like to do that you can't do?
Somebody asked me this question. Somebody asked me this question, and I never say what I don't believe that the word can. So, I can't answer that question because I believe we have the ability to do things that we put our mind to. But somebody asked me what after having been mayor for 3 terms, what was one thing that I would want to have to do? And I said I would want $100 million to put into the city to deal with roads, infrastructure, even to help with some schools. I mean, kids.
No, I just want to.
You want to clarify her question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She wrote down, what do you like to do for fun, or what would you like to do?
Oh, what do I like to do for fun? oh, God. My wife would say he don't like to do nothing but so let's see. I like to read. Some view that as work, but I like to read because I like to learn. So I'm a big proponent of readers are leaders. And so I'm a constant reader because I'm always trying to learn stuff even outside of the things that I do day to day. But I like to eat. You probably can tell that. I like to eat. I like movies. I like shows when I get an opportunity, both Broadway plays and entertainment, mostly what they call rhythm and blues or R&B. What else do I like to do? I like good conversation. I like to talk about politics a lot. Some people consider that work. I like to do things in the community. And if I were rich, I would give a lot of money away. If I were like John Corzine or Michael Bloomberg, I would give a lot of money away.
Mayor, earlier you shared with the students about government and the branches of government, and you are interested in becoming another part of government.
Right, yeah.
Can you share with the class about that branch of government?
Sure, yeah. So we talked about, right now I'm in the middle of a campaign for Congress. And the federal government is what President Obama is the executive branch. Remember I told you that Congress is made up of the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. So that's a very important part of what happens in our neighborhood. When you see President Obama on TV, the things that he's trying to accomplish for people affects us in our neighborhood every day. And I'll just give you a couple of examples of that. And the Congress has to vote on things that either help the president or stop his agenda, etc. So, let me give you an example. Sometimes they give us money to fix up roads. We have potholes and all of that. Sometimes that money comes to the state and then comes to me. Sometimes that money comes directly to me. One of the big grants we got, our municipal building, is a very old building. And we got $500,000 to do some work on that building. That all came from the federal government. And education has a lot of money that comes directly from the federal government. So that's the power of government. Locally, in fact, police and fire people, some of the reasons I'm able to keep a certain number of police and firemen is because I get money from the federal government. Now, you didn't ask your question yet, right? So why don't we take yours? Isn't it on the paper? Oh, you didn't write yours down. Oh. Go ahead.
How many meetings do you have in one day?
Oh, God. I usually have a minimum of about 8 to 10 meetings a day. Some are short, some are long, but they're usually no less than 8 to 10 meetings a day. Sometimes they're 10 to 12 meetings a day. And the meetings sometimes are early in the morning, sometimes they're earlier than when you go to school. And they run sometimes till very late at night.
Okay, the mayor has a very busy schedule today, so we're going to take 2 more questions. Okay?
So let me get this young man here.
What do you do in the summer while you're not working?
He's always working.
I'm always working, that's the challenge. Every now and then I get a chance to take a trip. Sometimes I try to combine business with a trip. My wife has been trying to force me to make more trips without the business. But, I like, when I do get a little vacation, I just like to relax. For me, getting extra sleep is like a vacation. I like to travel. And so when I go to a new city, I try to see what's going on in that city. I try to enjoy the things when I can. Let's ask, you didn't ask a question, yes ma'am. You didn't get a chance to ask a question, did you? You did? All right, I wanted the last person, somebody who didn't ask a question. Who didn't ask a question? You didn't ask a question? All right, good. Oh, what are my responsibilities? That's a very good question. Okay. The mayor is the chief executive officer of the local government, which is called the Township of Irvington. I have about 600 employees, a little less than $100 million budget. It's my responsibility to pick the different directors or managers who oversee the various departments and then get them confirmed by the city council. Some of the directors, I pick a couple and I don't even have to get confirmation. I have the power to just pick them. And I have to kind of manage the local government day to day to make sure that it functions. I have to represent the city at the federal level, at the state level, at the county level, in the business community. So those are kind of, in a thumbnail sketch, some of my responsibilities.
Okay, now, we'd like to thank the mayor. Everyone, would you like to thank the mayor?
Thank you, I enjoyed it. Thank you. So I'm sorry.
What I like to do is to get a picture of you just walking around in the this area here with them. And you can continue to
All right,
talk.
we'll take a couple more questions while we're
Right.
doing that. So, so go ahead, you ask your question.
What is one exciting event that happened to you while you were at work?
Oh, okay, I get it, oh boy, it's always exciting every day. But I'll tell you two exciting things that were really exciting for me and for the town. How many of you guys know Bill Cosby? You heard of Bill Cosby, right? Pretty. So one day he called me, he wanted to help do some things for young people. So we actually had him come to Irvington a few years ago. And he got a lot of people involved with donating books and doing things for young people. So that was pretty exciting. How many of you ever seen the television show called Extreme Makeover?
Oh.
Yeah, no, who knows what they do? Yeah, what they do?
If they cut people's house that's not good, they put it down building.
Right, yeah, we had a family in town, I think it was 11 children, and their house had burned down, and they rebuilt their house for them in town. And it was a 2-hour special on television. We had people from all over the state come to Irvington on Harrison Place, actually, and do it. So that was real exciting.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna take a picture over here.
Sure.
Will you help me with that?